I'd also like to give a plug for our AATS International Thoracic Surgical Oncology Summit, which will be held again in New York City at the end of September. So hopefully some of you all can submit some papers and come to this really excellent meeting. So I wanted to give my perspective a little bit on robotics in thoracic surgery. So just by virtue of orientation, even though I look extremely young, I've been doing thoracic surgical robotics since 2002 when I finished my training at Sloan Kettering. And how I came to do robotics, I think reflects a little bit on one of the main problems of the penetration of robotics, I think, worldwide. The reason I was able to do robotics is because I happened to be at the right place at the right time. I finished my training at Memorial. We, as an institution, invested in the very first standard robot, and it happened to be available. And at the time, and still to this day, in the United States system, that system is a capital purchase, and the cost is not given to the patient. So we had access to the robot, and I happened to have a mandate to try to do robotic surgery. And I think that's really the problem. The problem is access, because we all know that currently the main system that's available is by one company, and therefore it's a monopoly. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the new systems that are out there, and I think the natural conclusion is that more options are better, and more technology at a cheaper cost may be able to enhance the patient's access. I'm going to start by talking about systems that are FDA approved, and actually this is the only one that's in addition to the intuitive system that is actually approved and being used for cases. This is the Senhance Surgical system. And the one thing that you'll see is that it is modular based. So it's a little bit different than the surgical cart that is in the intuitive system. And you'll see a common theme of instead of an immersion visual system sitting there and having 3D vision through the use of some glasses and directly viewing the screen. This company that makes it, Transenterix, was founded in 2006 with the mission to improve clinical outcomes by supporting the surgeon's capabilities and improving existing laparoscopic skills. That system was FDA approved in the US in October of 2017. And this is just a little news clip from that shows when it was placed in one of the hospitals in Orlando. And you can see the glasses are being used to visualize the screen. And this particular system uses the eye movements to direct the camera, which is different and innovative from the intuitive system. Again, ergonomics are important, and the surgeon can sit at the console and work the arms. And it has already been used primarily for pelvic surgery, but this is a published series from Germany looking at a series of sigmoid resections using this system. So it is out there, it is being used in humans, and again, this is what would be your typical learning curve distribution, and 2 conversions to laparoscopy in the first 12 cases. This system now approved in Europe, Versius, made by the Cambridge Medical system. This is a modular system, so again, each of the arms are driven separately to the table, and then you've got 1 camera arm and 2 working arms. This is a UK company. Again, the goal to make next generation robots more versatile, more affordable, and easier to use. And again, the arms move in response to the surgeon's command. So this is also a telerobotic system, as well as the bedside assistant. The potential advantages are that it's lower profile, more versatile, and easier to set up. and again, built to compete with the intuitive system. In fact, the NHS has a mandate to implement these throughout the UK. And again, it's been trialed. This has been trialed actually in a series of 70 patients in India for a variety of gynecologic and GI procedures. So it has been approved as of a couple months ago, and it will start to penetrate the UK. So I'm going to move on to some systems that are not yet ready for prime time, but are two of the more common systems that have been out there. So Verb Surgical, this was founded 4 years ago, really a collaboration between Verily, which used to be Google Life Sciences, and Ethicon, with 5 technology pillars, that of robotics, visualization, instrumentation, but adding 2 additional pillars, which are data analytics and connectivity, to really democratize surgery. What does that mean? That means to be able to provide this kind of technology and capability throughout the world, regardless of cost, and to make it globally accessible. Why democratize surgery? Because there are 5+ billion people that are not able to access the most cutting-edge surgical care. And there's many surgeons throughout the world that could have lower mortality rates, better outcomes if they had better access to technology. So these slides are courtesy of Sloan Guy, one of my cardiothoracic colleagues at Cornell, soon to be Temple. But surgery 1.0 was really open surgery. Surgery 2.0 in the 1980s was laparoscopic surgery with 2D vision and straight instruments. And then surgery 3.0, which is currently what we're in, is telerobotic surgery. But clearly, innovation is revolutionizing other industries, but we're a little bit behind in surgery. So what's surgery 4.0? That would be digital surgery. So that would be the mission that Verb Surgical has put out to be able to go into the future. Here we are in 3.0, where we're using technology to improve surgeon comfort, access to deeper and targeted tissues. But surgery 4.0 is to integrate the data to reduce the footprints and costs, and to not only improve decision-making, but to improve access throughout the world. So again, today, surgery 3.0, the future is going to be to increase data acquisition, learning, to have multiple options for robotic support, and to reduce cost, and to improve the number of surgeries that can be done with the greatest technology and the best results. So again, Verb feels that they are not a robotic company, but really an integrated company that uses all of these 5 pillars to improve surgical care throughout the world. And again, their platform would be to integrate virtual reality, as well as, again, the principles of 3D imaging and telerobotic surgery to, again, enhance the technological capabilities of the surgeon. Let's see if I can. Is the sound available?
You can actually do preoperative planning. You can do the procedure ahead of time through simulation, just like an autopilot in a plane. And data analytics fits into this whole category of giving the patient as well as the clinician all the information they need, so that whole thing becomes a solution.
So the Einstein system. So this is the system from Medtronic. And Medtronic is a long-established company with really expertise in advanced instrumentation. And they recently have made a strong commitment to furthering robotic surgery, evidenced by acquisition of a couple different smaller robotic platforms, Mazar Robotics, which is a neurosurgery platform, and Auris Health, which many of you have heard of, which is a robotic bronchoscopy platform just recently, a few months ago. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of information about their robotic surgical platform other than its name, Einstein. Again, it is a modular system. It is a very similar visual system with 3D glasses and the screen and the wristed instrumentation. And the main goals, unfortunately, this is the only picture of Einstein you can, or the only Einstein you can purchase from Amazon.com, actually. But the goals of the company really are to focus on advanced instrumentation, to be able to reduce cost. So they're projecting the system to be about half the cost of the intuitive system. And while their original goal was release in 2018, that has been pushed back to either late this year or early next year. Unfortunately, there's not much more information on that. Well, what about intuitive? Obviously, they are the leaders, probably several generations in already. And again, I think I'm one of the few people in this room that was able to use the standard system, non-high def, only 3 arms, and really an evolution in technology up to the XI system currently with 4 arms, high def, and the robotic stapler, particularly the vascular stapler. But they have also innovated in other ways in terms of integrated energy, fluorescence imaging for better visualization of structures, and obviously the stapling portfolio, which really was one of the major advances that has led, at least in North America, to an expansion of robotic thoracic procedures. The next generation of things coming down the line are better instrumentation with the lower profile vessel sealer, the 60mm stapler, and then the Vinci SP platform. And I don't want to, we're going to have a separate talk later this afternoon by Diego Gonzalez-Rivas, but the single port, this is the SP system, where now you can, through a 2.5 centimeter cannula, have 4 robotic arms, the camera, and 3 arms to be able to even further lower the profile of what can be done robotically while maintaining wristed instrumentation, binocular vision. And this system is now approved, and and Diego's doing a lot of great work in terms of trying to see how this can fit into single port thoracic procedures such as pulmonary resection, mediastinal work. And I know that he's going to give a great talk later today, and I hope you all will be able to attend that. But you can see, again, the principles of ergonomic comfort, the advanced visualization, the wristed instrumentation, all embodied here, that opens up a whole set of possibilities in terms of minimal access surgery. There are other telerobotic systems. Believe it or not, this is an approved system for robotic percutaneous coronary interventions. This is approved, and there's been an ongoing clinical trial. Robotic joint replacement, and several advances in instrumentation, wristed instrumentation, are also available and on the market, which is another way to improve access. You can tell the robotic procedure on the left, the 3D and wristed instrumentation on the right looks basically identical at a much lower cost. I'm going to skip the medical micro instruments. That's another area. And the economic impact, basically, in the next 5 years, there's going to be nearly $6.5 billion US spent on global surgical robotics. So robot is here to stay, and if we can, and even though the majority of it is in the United States, This is in Europe, this is in Asia, and this is the rest of the world. It's only increasing. So in summary, I think that what I've hoped to show you is that there are multiple new competitive robotic platforms and technologies coming. And I do believe, for the benefit of us and for our patients, that the focus is on better versatility, reducing costs, and this will only increase access and helps increase innovation and really help us take care of our patients better. The surgical robotic market is projected to continue to expand, and I think that these efforts to reduce costs are going to fuel that expansion. Thank you very much.